Was skumma geistes and whatnot. Easya, boy. Blazing Mellow, the raging sun, the blazing star, the god of the universe, Margin Mellow himself, right back with another one. We are finally back with a brand new call-in type of live stream in which y'all can call in later on if y'all want. And y'all can talk with y'all gods. Y'all can talk with y'all Lord and Savior, Blazing Mellow himself. But first of all, let me check my quality. Y'all can call in later on if y'all want. And y'all can talk. I don't know what it is, and I can't seem to fix it. But every time I'm on stream, yet I sound like I'm live on a goddamn Nokia. I do not know what it is. I've tried anything in my power, but I couldn't fix my damn quality. When I'm live on YouTube, I sound crispy clean. But when I'm live on StreamYard, I sound like I'm speaking through somebody's Obama phone. I don't know what it is, but we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I sound like I'm speaking through somebody's Obama phone. I don't know what it is, but hell no. Hell no, this shit is atrocious. Fucking hell, but I have to find a way to fix this. Hold on a sec. I have to find a motherfucking way to test 1 2 check 1 2 test check 1 2. I'll switch some settings. Hold on a sec. Check 1 2 test check 1 2. Nothing. I'll switch some settings. It just won't change. It will not change. Test check 1 2. Well, no. It just won't change. I think it should be all right now. Oh, no. Nah, man, it's useless. It's useless. Fuck it. I guess we can't change the fact that I sound like I'm speaking from a damn Obama phone right now. But fuck it, y'all can hear me anyway, so let's just dive into some talking points. Before I drop the link and let some of y'all join and speak, you know what I'm saying? Let me talk for it. Let me talk for it. So y'all see the title. And the title is pretty much self-explanatory. A fulfilled person is triggering the unfulfilled. That shit happened to me everywhere I went. Every time I'm fulfilled somewhere, I seem to trigger somebody who's unfulfilled. And it goes beyond me. It goes beyond me. It's not a mellow problem. It is not a margin mellow problem. It's not a blazing mellow problem. It's a whole different problem. It's an existential problem. Because people, in and of themselves, cannot seem to find some sort of enjoyance in their life. And people are like living haters. People are living haters. Let me tell you so much. When people see something they don't get and they want that shit, they don't appreciate the person for having that shit. They hate on that person. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit. What the fuck? Almost threw up live on camera. I kid you not, man. What the fuck? It goes like this, man. When somebody has something somebody wants, that person doesn't appreciate the other person for having that. The other person hates that person for having what they want. And it's just a very weird and goddamn negative trait of human beings. When they see somebody who has what they deeply want, they don't seek inspiration, not even seek. They don't see that person as an inspiration. They don't go like, ah, damn, he's so inspirational. He can get something I could never have. Let me learn from him. Let me learn from her. And it's not about being some sort of idol for people. As I was saying in my last video, you cannot teach people shit. It's not about being an idol, but it's about acknowledging somebody when that person has something, characteristically speaking. Ideally, when you see somebody who has something about them, when you are a healthy human being, you don't think like, oh, I hate him so much, I hate her so much. Ideally, you would be like, damn, this person is an inspiration. But nowadays, nobody can be an inspiration for shit, because if you yourself play out something worthwhile, if you yourself play something out which is goddamn noble, you don't get praised for that shit. You get hated on. You get hated on because people are so miserable, extremely miserable, hella miserable. When you have something people would like to have, you don't get like praised, and it's not about being praised. You don't get respected. There we go. You don't get respected for being a sophisticated individual. Nowadays, you get like hated for being a sophisticated individual, especially if it's something creative in character. When you yourself are a very not even expressive, when you yourself have something about you, something people like to call charismatic gifts, I hate that word, that shit is corny as hell. You tend to get hated on, especially online. It's not even a thing in real life, because in real life, hating people don't really exist. And if they do exist, they get bullied. Like these people are like the people in the back of the class just being very quiet and not saying anything. But online, lame people in high school have like 10,000 million subscribers. Online, lame people in high school who couldn't get friends for shit, who hated people for no reason, are like multi-millionaires online. You know what I'm saying? But as far as real life, I'm speaking from my own experience. As far as real life, somebody who hates somebody for no reason, somebody who hates you for just you having a specific aura, for the lack of less cringy and buzzword type of terminologies, these people in real life are barely noticeable. They're like very weak. They don't even have the guts and the nuts and the goddamn courage to speak up and say, yo, I don't fuck with you. Like these people are those people who were like in high school who couldn't get their mouth open for shit. No homo boss. They couldn't open their mouth for shit. You know what I'm saying? You could spit in their face and that type of person wouldn't say anything. But online, these people have platforms. Online, these people have like 10,000 of views because online is a very faulty world anyways. I'm starting to think the whole premise of being online, beyond spiritual content creators, but I start to believe the whole premise of being online is to show people how miserable people are. Like miserable people get the spotlight nowadays. Scroll on social media. You will see some victimizing ass bitch whining about her life and she gets millions of views. Now you scroll one reel further and in the next reel you see somebody spitting some good game and that person may not get any traction. You know what I'm saying? So it's just logical to assume at that point that online is just a showcase of miserable people. And these miserable people are not getting anything in real life. No traction, no friends, no connections, nothing. But online, they get everything. Like they have it all online. They have it all. Their views, money, attention, followers, subscribers, yeah, comments, yada, yada, yada. Online, they have it all. They have it motherfucking all. They have it all. I'm just telling y'all to remind you of this right here. If you are a person online and you get hated on, be reminded of how a hater in real life looks. A hater in real life gets no traction. A hater in real life has no friends. We all went to high school, right? Or like we all went to school at the very least. Or we all went in a circle in real life and we all saw people in real life in our age. We all saw our peers in real life at some point of time, right? And reminisce. I guarantee you, reminisce. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. In your friend circle, in your local environment, within your peer group, the person who's a living hater, no friends, nobody fucks with them, nobody goes out with them, they get no bitches, they have nothing, nothing. But online, a living hater has everything: money, views, attention, feedback. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole coping mechanism. And people who are online somehow forget what a hater looks like in real life. Somebody who's truly hating in real life for no reason is somebody who doesn't look like a nobody. That person looks like a nobody. But online, a person who's hating gets glorified. I mean, in real life, if somebody is saying, you ain't shit for no reason, you don't take them seriously. But when it comes to online, now it's a huge problem. When it comes to online, now opinions hold so much weight. You know what I'm saying? Now when it comes to online, miserable people are like glorified to the heavens. But in real life, yeah, don't glorify miserable people. You don't even talk to miserable people online in real life, right? When you see somebody in real life who's very miserable, who doesn't have anything about them for shit, you don't become friends with them. You don't glorify them to the heavens. But when it comes to online, somebody who's miserable becomes like something more than what they truly are type shit. And I don't seem to understand it. I do understand it. Trust me, I do. Have a lack of experience in real life. Not everybody, but a good majority of people online on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Especially on like short platform reels, on short reels. These people lack experiences. And at that, they're just expressing unfulfillment. It's like not even something worthwhile. People express unfulfillment and they label their unfulfillment as creative content. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. Trust me, I don't understand. I do understand, but it's like at the same time, it's retarded. It's fucking retarded. When you hop on Instagram, when you hop on social media, hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. There we go. So when you hop on social media, when you hop on fucking online, you see people creating content, which is like full of yeah, today somebody cheated on me. I'm not 5 foot 10,000 feet tall. I'm not 10,000 feet tall. I hate people who are like this. I have the true religion. When you jump online, you see people creating content based out of misery. And in real life, somebody who has a personality made out of misery is not somebody you want to be friends with. But online, that type of person has like traction, has like attraction, which is very weird, which is damn near, not even damn near, it is in reverse. It is in fucking reverse. Online, you become attractive if you are a bitch ass individual. But in real life, if you are a bitch ass individual, you don't become attractive. You will get no friends, no bitches, no goddamn nothing. Just straight up nothing. Absolute nothing, man. Motherfucking nothing. And trust me, it shows. Trust your boy Blazing Mellow, it shows. Trust me, it shows. It fucking shows. You just can't hide your lameness online. You just cannot hide who you are. I know people like to say, you cannot judge me based on what I produce online. Very wrong. Very wrong. Not very wrong, but quite wrong. It is quite wrong. Because for you to grab a camera, to post a TikTok reel, to post an Instagram reel, you have to have an idea. And for that idea to come even into your space is a direct reflection of who you are. So you just cannot discredit what you post in some way, shape, or form. Because there's like a saying with like there's like a saying online which says you cannot judge me based on my social media. And I've shout out to Dave B. Shout out to Dave B on TV. He was addressing this in a live stream of his a couple days ago, or like quite often. Like Dave B speaks about this quite often. So shout out to Dave B on TV. Like even he said, people like to say, yeah, you cannot judge me based on what I consume and based on what I produce, which is kind of wrong. What you consume is what you're entertained by, and you cannot be entertained by something you don't fuck with. I mean, if I don't fuck with VR hentai furry porn, I won't watch VR hentai furry porn. So obviously, I cannot be entertained by something I don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so much bullshit going on online. People say, "Yeah, you cannot judge me for my Instagram feed, for my Instagram reels. You cannot judge me for my content." But who is that person making the content? It is you. It is you. You are creating that content. So obviously, it is a part of you. So it shows who you are. I don't get it. And don't get it twisted. Something you cannot see based on what you post online is what kind of person you are in your heart of hearts. It is like fluky mookie. You can't see how somebody is based on what they produce online because in some way, shape, or form, this is what they're interested in and what they are invested in. But what you cannot truly see is how that person would be in a face-to-face relation. But then again, you can partially see that shit because to kind of assume how somebody would be like in real life and you just have their online content as a reference, you can assume a little bit how they are because what you are showing is who you are, no matter where you're at. If you're in real life or if you're online, what you post is what you kind of emotionally are connected to. And what you are emotionally connected to is part of who you are. It might not be the whole totality, trust me. Just me posting spiritual content is not my whole totality. I'm a whole different person besides spiritual content. I mean, this is just a part of me. But this is the distinction. We can partially see who you are, but we can't see the whole totality of who you are based on what you just produce because we all have infinite faces. And even in real life, it takes a shit ton of time to judge somebody fully with like the whole totality because we all are very multi-faced. We have 10,000 billion faces as human beings. We have 10,000 different sides. But what we show is still a part of us. There is no way around it. Like it wouldn't make much sense if I would be like, yeah, I'm posting spiritual content, but I'm not a spiritual person because you cannot judge me based on what I produce online. But that doesn't make any sense. So let's just stick into reality for a second. Let's just be real. Let's just be fucking real and let's just be accountable for a second. But that's really everything, my guys and my girls and my whatnot. A fulfilled person triggered, is triggering an unfulfilled person. Because if human beings see something they don't truly have, they start to hate. Because it goes back to a lack of self-esteem. It goes back to insecurity as a whole. Like when you cannot produce something and somebody has what you want, if you are an insecure person, you will get bothered. But every normal, best believe, every normal person in real life, when they see something they don't got in somebody else, they would be inspired. You see, jealousy and inspiration are like kind of two sides of the same coin. Not necessarily inspiration, but motivation. It goes like this. Let's just make a very stupid example. You see somebody online who's a motivational speaker, and that motivational speaker, or like let's just make it a real example. You see somebody online who's spiritual, and that spiritual person has the solutions or the characteristics you need, and the characteristics you cannot get. There's only two things which are bound to happen. Either you get inspired and motivated by that person because that person can teach you something you don't have, or you hate on that person because you're miserable and you'll be like, I'm insecure all my life, but that person is confident. Let me hate on him. You see, it's like two sides of the same spectrum. Either you get motivated or you get fucking jealous. But that's just that, man. That's just motherfucking that, man. Keep that shit in mind. Keep that shit in motherfucking mind. You said facts, the most miserable people with hello subs. Yeah. Exactly. And actually, it goes beyond subs, but subs are a big part of like misery incarnate. They're a part of a miserable person. Because you online, you get rewarded for being an ancient ass motherfucker for some strange reason. For some omniscious ass reason. You get rewarded for being a bitch online. Yeah, my guys and my girls and my whatnot. My girlfriend cheated on me with 10,000 black men today. Now you get 10,000 views. You get 10,000 views in 10 milliseconds. When you say some shit like, I'm broke, I went broke today, you get 10,000 views in 10,000 milliseconds. You know what I'm saying? When you go into a Wendy's and, I don't know, crash out into that Wendy's restaurant, you get 10,000 views in a millisecond. It's like negativity gets rewarded. Because it goes back to how the system is created. If you reward something, you want to see more of it, right? A parent who is rewarding his child or her child is rewarding his or her child because they want to see more of that behavior. For instance, let's just say you are a parent and your little girl, I don't know, your little girl eats healthy, starts to eat healthy. Now you reward your little girl for eating healthy. So anytime you want to see that behavior more often, you reward somebody. And the same principle applies for online. Online, you will get rewarded for crashing out. Online, you will get rewarded for being a negative, ancient ass person. For posting everybody how obese you are. I'm built like Baymax. Body positivity, I'm built like Baymax. Now you get rewarded for being built like Baymax. It's like crazy. You get rewarded for being a goddamn lean junkie. You get rewarded for being a miserable ass person. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to ask ourselves one specific question, as I was saying. Anytime somebody rewards somebody, obviously they want to see more of that behavior. You get rewarded by a person who wants to see more of that behavior you was validated on. So if we, or like if people on, not we, if people online get validated on some negative ass shit, obviously a group of human beings want to see more negative shit, which is morally extremely wrong. Which is morally extremely wrong, to say the least. To say the very, very least. You know what I'm saying? But who cares? In real life, you do not get rewarded for having negative ass behavior. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story time of my high school days or my middle school days. How do you call like the school before middle school? It's like after elementary, but before middle school. You know what I'm saying? How do you call that shit in English? I don't know. But before I went to middle school, after I left like elementary, I was firstly privy to suburb kids. I saw like suburban people for the very first time when I was like entering the school before middle school. After I left elementary, I don't know how you call that shit. I don't fucking know. Because in Germany, like elementary, after elementary, you are like in one specific school all the way until you pass high school. It's like a whole different system. But anyways, but fuck this shit. But after I left elementary and went to a different school, I was like raised in an extremely urban area. It was like extremely bad in a very urban area. So I was like privy to urban kids, and y'all know how urban kids are. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of black people, all kinds of Arabs, all kinds of Turkish people, all kinds of Kurdish people, all kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? I was raised with all kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? So I was like in this new school, and I was seeing how suburban kids were acting for the first time, and I couldn't even believe my eyes. I could not believe my eyes because, for some strange reason, people who are living in suburban, in more sheltered regions, who are raised in suburban neighborhoods, have like a weird sense of entitlement, a very weird sense of entitlement. Like, as in, they say something, and if you react to what they're saying, they start to tweak. It was like crazy. There was like some dude, some white ass kid, some German ass boy, who was like acting weird towards me. He was acting hella strange towards me. And I was reacting accordingly, like every other person would. Like in my urban school, in my urban pre-elementary school, there was like no problem. When somebody talked shit, you react, you smack his ass. There was like no problem. But when I was like around suburban kids and I reacted based on very negative behavior, all of a sudden it's a problem now. All of a sudden they start to tweak, they start to act up. Because suburban kids have a weird sense of entitlement. But I wasn't letting that shit slide whatsoever. I was not letting that shit slide whatsoever. Do you know what I did? I smacked his face into oblivion. I was like 11 years old. I was smacking his face. Oh, I was smacking his face into goddamn oblivion. And this dude was like white as hell. I was like seeing the redness on his face. I could see like my whole handprint on his face. I was smacking him so hard. I was like ready to throw more hands because in my urban background, we were ready to fight, but he wasn't fighting back. All he was doing was walking away. And that encounter is like deeply engraved in my brain. That shit, I can never forget that shit, man. Because how do you talk shit and you get mad when somebody talks shit back to you, and then you get smacked and you just walk away? I was ready to throw hands because a smack is just the starting point of like, okay, let's initiate a fight. But after I was initiating a smack, there was nothing in return. That person just walked away. I'm telling y'all to say this, man. I'm saying this to say that, man. I was making this whole story like apparent to make y'all aware of this fact right here. Online is full of these kind of people. Online is full of suburban people who are like disturbed by you talking back. Like suburban people have like a weird mentality. When you talk back, they start to tweak. And online is full of these people, you know what I'm saying? That shit is like crazy. But these people online, if I was to smack them in the face, which I absolutely would, they wouldn't say shit anyways. So I can't take y'all serious anyways. I just cannot take y'all serious anyways. That's all I wanted to say, man. I just cannot take shit serious anyways. You know what I'm saying? My best story was like, I was like borderline disturbed by the weirdness of suburban kids. How do you get smacked and you don't fight back? One strike. How do you talk shit and you get mad when somebody talks shit back to you? Second strike. And what's even more goddamn disturbing is that person kept on talking shit, like behind my back. But in front of me, I was smacking them in their face, physically speaking, and they wasn't doing anything. And this is like the whole subtweeting nature of online in a nutshell. This is like the whole indirect shots nature online in a nutshell. When you cannot call shit out face to face. Because if you do call shit out face to face, somebody like me will smack your ass. You can bet your bottom dollar that you will get smacked if you call something out face to face. Everybody who's like indirect and like has something to hide. And that's just that, man. That's just motherfucking that, man. That's just motherfucking that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. You said so many different messages. So many goddamn messages. You said, what is black folks or was it minority ethnic groups? It was both. It was like both in my background. Like black folks, like from Togo, from Ghana, from like goddamn Nigeria, from like goddamn Somalia, from like goddamn Mali, all kinds of real Africans, and Middle Eastern people like Arabs, Turks, and like Kurdish people like me, like all kinds of people. Like everybody who wasn't white, but Asians excluded. Asians excluded. This is what I was like growing up with. That is. I was like, yeah, same shit. It's some kids always teacher. It's like these people have no backbone. They have no balls. They have no guts to confront shit face to face. You know what I'm saying? Online is the suburban kids. Motherfuckers looking down at their parents. Right, right, man. Online is full of suburban kids. And disclaimer: don't be like diluted. When I say suburban and you are born in a suburb, it's a characteristic. It is not just you being born in a suburban area. Like I no longer live in an urban area I used to grow up in. I moved. I live now in a suburban area. You know what I'm saying? It's about the characteristic. It's about the characteristic you embody. But suburban people have like they live in a very different world. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm tripping, but these type of people live in a whole different world in which they just validate each other and they don't see reality. They don't see other people. Like Dolo the pilot man is always talking about sheltered people. And this is describing this shit to a T. To be sheltered just means to kept safe, to be kept safe. And somebody who's kept safe is living in a box in a fucking magic square. Like somebody's house pet, like somebody's, I don't know, pet spider. You're just living in a box and you cannot reach out of that box. You're stuck in that box, in that magic square, mentally speaking. Shout out to Z. You said it's because we lived in delusions. Those behaviors are reflective of bad esoteric parents. Right. Exactly what I was just talking about. Living in delusions. It's just you being domesticated in a very confined box. You know what I'm saying? It's a very weird characteristic. You know what I'm saying? You said that the indirect head is always on the lip up under. Yeah. And it just creeps me out. Not because it's scary, but it weirds me out. It's like cringy. I wasn't raised. I was not raised by anybody. I had like parents. I was living with my mom and my dad, but nobody was like teaching me shit face to face. So I just raised myself, borderline. I was borderline raising myself. And for me to be active is very normal. If I wasn't active, if I wasn't direct, I wasn't getting shit. Somebody who's indirect is somebody who's living under dependability. You don't have to be direct if mama is taking care of your doctor appointments. You don't have to be direct if daddy's taking care of your goddamn pocket money. You know what I'm saying? It's like being indirect, mentally speaking, is seed coming from you being taken care of way too much. Because when you're being taken care of way too much, you don't have any independence, not any masculine qualities. You know what I'm saying? He said, you're not tripping. They do live in a different world. Right. They do. Straight up, they do. And the oppression vibe is just they soak in and create lives to the promise of corpses, corporations. Right. It all goes back to just living in a box, man. But anyways, y'all, I just leave the link in the description. So if y'all like to join, feel free to join. We can talk about everything. We can talk about goddamn everything. This is more like an open discussion. It doesn't have to be like predicated towards the title. You can talk about anything. So yeah, if y'all want to join, feel free to join. No pressure. If anybody likes to join, feel free to join. It is just weird. Very, very weird. Because your background is in and of itself a very different world. It is a different world. Not pretty much, it is a different world. Environments are like worlds. The environment, spiritually and physically, you up under, is the space you're in. And the space you're in is determining your individuality. The space you're in is borderline telling you what kind of person you will be. Everybody's in a magic square nowadays, and that magic square is shaping your reality. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful what kind of magic squares you're up under. And before I add like Mysterio, let me say one thing before I just make this an open discussion. It is not always your fault because we are all put in boxes. We are all put in certain magic squares by default. Maybe you was raised to be a certain way because it's just the world we're in. The world we are in is promoting certain things over other things. So don't take it too personal and don't take it as an offense because we all make mistakes because we are all raised in an indoctrinated world. Goddamn. But when you know better, when you start to know better, it is your responsibility to break free from that cage and move into a different room. You know what I'm saying? Peace.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yo. Yes,
Can you hear
sir,
me?
I can hear you loud and clear, my guy.
Yo, this whole conversation is like what I've been going through, but like you just put it into words. Like, you know,
Yeah.
suburban people, they got like a certain mindset where they think they untouchable, and I'll be peeping that. Even though I'm in the suburbs myself, like I'm not really in the suburbs because I'm when I was in school, I was always around the most hood crowds. Like, you know what I'm saying? For some reason, like I always resonated with the most hood crowds, except like when I was in elementary school, because like you know, in elementary school, motherfuckers, it was a bunch of Indians and Asian kids and shit. You hear me?
Yes, sir. And I really like that you said those people feel untouchable because these people have like a sense of entitlement. Like when they talk shit about you and you talk shit back, they start to tweak. And I don't understand why this is even a thing in like suburban communities. If they talk shit about you, like on some petty shit, like yeah, look at your clothes, look at you, look at how you look, me. They even start to be borderline racist sometimes when they talk shit to you.
That's
And,
that's what I'm
and you
saying.
talk shit back, they start to tweak. And I don't know why. Who on earth are you? It is like in urban areas. Everybody has individuality and character. When somebody talks, you just don't listen. You just don't be like, yeah, you're right. You talk back. But these people are like allergic to somebody reacting to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, it's funny because it's like, and speaking of the borderline racism, it's like have you ever heard that term white bubble, where
White
you
bubble,
know
yeah.
where white bubble is um I know this might sound racist, but like white bubble is like it comes from a term that black people called white people who haven't experienced nothing.
It
Um,
is not racist. It is true. It's a characteristic. It's not
yeah,
about the race. It is about the character.
yeah. So like black people call people who don't experience nothing like they're inside of a white bubble, aka like you know when they see or get around a specific group, they start making all types of racist jokes. They kind of act like this person is foreign or something. It's weird. Like I experienced that too. I was like, nigga, what?
And ironically, these people have like quote unquote dark humor. You know what I'm saying? Like sarcastic dark humor. While in all actuality, they're just discriminating. Like these edgy white boy Discord Reddit type of humors. You know what I'm saying? In which
Right,
they're just borderline racist towards people who are not living in that background. You know what I'm saying?
right. And these be this Twitch streamers. I'm sorry, bro, but like you was
Type
right.
shit, bro. Type shit.
Bro, like when you said those are the Twitch streamers, I was like, bro, you were 100% right. It don't be niggas like me that at least if you the white boy, you cool with the hood dudes and the people you was with. Nah, they be the this be the white boys that be sitting here calling black people all types of word how they're inferiority or something because they didn't have as much and you've been sheltered all your life. So you think you could like get away with a whole bunch of shit
And
until you
think
get
about it.
smacked.
Think about it. Like even being a Twitch streamer, what do you have to do? These people doing what they're already doing, sitting at home and playing video games. So of course, somebody who's sheltered 24/7 is the first person who's about to be a Twitch streamer because all you're doing is just playing video games, talk on Discord, crack your weird ass racist jokes, and now you get famous for it. And people who are like in a more urban or like in a more real background don't have these characteristics because we are not familiar with just sitting at home all day, playing video games with our friends all day, and being on Discord all day. It just makes perfect sense that these type of people become Twitch streamers.
Bro, cuz I just got out of high school like 2 years ago. Bro, cuz bro, people like that wouldn't even get recognized in school. Like
I'm saying,
people people like that would be like, oh wait, who the fuck is this nerdy looking motherfucker? Like, bro, I was bro in school, like motherfuckers was get on motherfuckers like even though I kind of went to a suburban school, but it was still country and hood at the same time. Where we had like urban kids too. You know what I'm saying? Cause
Yeah, it was like a mixture.
yeah, it was like a mixture. So like, you know, so like low key, if you wasn't a little bit of hood, you wasn't getting no respect like that either. If you wasn't a little bit of hood or country and you was like really suburban like you would kind of get your shit disrespected on and shit. Like,
And what's crazy is like people from the hood, for an instance, are like the most popular people. Like even the suburb kids build the whole character based on the hood, like not the actual hood, but like that characteristic. They
right,
build their memes, their jokes, their lingo, their culture, music, all on these people. And in the same breath, there are races towards them. It's like jealousy. It is like Uriel been saying. Like you cannot
bro,
be these type of people. You try to kill him, and you try to be them without recognizing them. You know what I'm saying? It's
bro,
like you're taking the culture, but you don't give them a platform.
bro. That's
That
that's
shit is like
fact.
crazy.
That's facts. Like, especially with Native American and black people, I be seeing that shit too. I'm like, damn, they really boxed in all the minority groups and said, damn, y'all some strong ass spirits coming in these bodies. We don't fuck with y'all like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I be peeping that because it's like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been around hella white people from the suburbs. They are not like that. I don't even know why they even get so much attention online and shit. Cause it's
For real, for real. And
like, 'cause-
what's crazy is like those people who get recognition online. If you meet them face to face, you'll see a whole different person. A whole different person. You know what I'm saying? I was like listening to a story once. Like there's like a specific German big Twitch streamer, and I knew
right,
a friend who was like kind of cool with them on on a private basis, and he was saying that dude is a whole different person face to face, because these people try to be like polished online. They try to be politically correct. They try to be accepted basically. But if you
right,
meet them face to face, their magic square goddamn characteristics start to crumble. Like
right.
these people live for online. All they're doing is calculating their personality on some ChatGPT type shit just to be lit on Twitch. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's like people who got lit online, bro. I be with these online people. They know how to use the internet really good, like short clips. I be watching like they full streams. These dudes do not be on nothing like that. It's like the clips be making them famous for motherfuckers
Nothing. Straight
like
up nothing. And
bro,
it's like
it's
you were saying. Like these people get famous for being on a Discord call.
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Like like bro, it would surprise me. I'm like, damn, I met like 3 to 4 or 5, even myself. That's why I was like, fuck it, I'm making a YouTube channel. I could do this shit too, even though there's more resistance and shit. But my brother he a Twitch streamer and shit like that. Bro, this nigga, bro, you would not believe if you would see him in real life, he was not like that. He was all
I'm
quiet and
telling
shit.
you.
Bro, he
I'm
was all
telling you.
quiet and shit. You know, he told me something. He said, "Hey, the reason, hey, you know why I'm getting lit on Twitch?" I said, well, "Why you getting lit on Twitch?" Because you know I be copying you a little bit. I'm like, nigga, what? You be copying?
You see? It's like a real thing in reality. Like even with yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
No, no, no. You good? You good? Oh, I'm about to go into a whole discourse, so I was just gonna introduce my starting point. But you finish.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was crazy because like you all I had to say was like you completely right about this point. It's like whoa, like it is online is a whole bunch of suburban kids, and then you see the hood people get online, they're not as famous, and when you do see them, you like, damn, that shit was funny.
And it's like if you don't have it in you, you don't have it. You just don't have it in you. In real life, before you want to be a good entertainer on the internet, you have to be somebody in real life, like in high school, in your friend circle, you name it. You have to be somebody. You have to make people feel like, okay, this person is a cool person. This person is actually funny. Like as you were saying, you have to be a certain way in which people seek inspiration from you. Like it is crazy that you was just saying like this person is borderline copying your personality, because this shit happens to me too in real life. Like I don't know, you know how like prominent it is on Instagram to make like stories with your peers and whatnot. Like people making some goofy ass stories. And
Right,
of course, when I was like 14, 15, 16 on Instagram, I was like doing my goofy ass stories too. But instead of posting memes, I was creating my own shit. I was like posting my own face and creating my own little jokes type shit. And I saw people in my friend circles just straight up copying my shit. And these were like people I went to high school with. And in high
That's how they
school, they
get
wasn't
pussy.
talking with me. Like in high school, we wasn't even talking. I don't even know them. They just follow me. They see my story and they just straight up copy my shit. You know what I'm saying?
You would just
And
accept
I
it
don't
as
even
like the
know him in
body
real
double.
life.
You would just think it's like normal. It's like it because that's how this world will show you power gets treated. Like, oh, there's the king and then there's these body doubles. So you'll be the one like laying your own principalities and laying your own kingship of what like the space that you're operating out of. And the people that are scared of that, they're people who's moving that dial forward and they're like, oh shit, this must be the safe place to stand at. You know, not knowing that they're about to be the next thing to get eaten the fuck up if they're not actually operating like an amoeba. An amoeba
Right.
is just a concept for individual um mechanisms that work together like cogs. But that's
Straight
what
up.
that's what I was gonna bring up is I used to be that unfulfilled person, being mad at fulfilled people. But then when I start de tangling myself, it was because I always felt inside of myself that people were smiling about shit that they didn't actually want to smile about, but I want to stand on it. I want to believe in my own theory. So I want to bring up the fact that a lot of this shit is just built on the cognitive dissonance that Dolo harps on in the sense of native hobbyism, to where a lot of these kids that are born in suburban areas, they're the outcomes of people who agreed to be a part of a corpse. So they gave up their own goals and dreams. And not everyone in these corporations. There are some kids that know how to move in suburban environments, and then when they get in the urbans, they're the rich white kid that all the gangbangers fuck with. You feel me? But a lot of these people are being birthed by parents who their whole participation in the environment of being in these suburban areas is to be a battery cell, is to um, doubt themselves or put themselves under the rug just for the sake of feeling things now, for the promise of now. And that's what turns into these long-term contracts that get introduced with new shitty movies or new repeat stories of Jesus concepts here, Bible concepts here, to
Yeah.
make that person feel like they're still alive. But what they're really doing is they're fulfilling an operation but within the larger corporation. So I left a comment earlier talking about when you're in the Hall of the Dead, don't touch the gold there. Because sometimes what I used to do is I used to walk through the Hall of the Dead and not realize that I'm actually on a field trip, which is why I didn't feel nothing, and I'm in there trying to like touch the gold or touch these old memories and feel them and make them come back alive. And then what that would have me do is animate these weak ass characteristics or weak ass problems because I wasn't believing in my own duties and obligations, my own judgments, my own authorities. You feel me? But
Yeah.
that's the reason being is that's the corporation we live in. I mean, I'm getting gaslit from the cognitive
Mm,
dissonance. You
mm.
feel me?
I feel you heavy because this shit happened to me too on a very large percentage level. And I was like experiencing this kind of gaslighting sensation too. Because without like being too corny and like bragging about myself, I was like a very naturally fulfilled person, like somebody with
Right,
something people like to
right.
label as gold, you know what I'm saying? And me just expressing my natures for the sake of just being open and charitable. I was like privy and open towards people who were, of course, unfulfilled and very like drained, the living dead, basically. And I was like tricked into believing what I'm doing is actually wrong because everybody was like the living dead. Nobody was like actually, not to say that I was dependent on praise, but nobody was like reciprocating good natures, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
based on nobody reciprocating these good natures, I became the living dead too. And I start
Hmm.
to be very insecure about my goal, about my individuality. Because anytime I expressed my true individuality as a 6 year old, 7 year old, 8 year old, it wasn't getting reciprocated amongst adults, older people, etc. Because as I was saying, everybody was the living dead. And me, being born somebody who was not dead, I felt like I'm doing something wrong. To the point I died spiritually too, and I started to be very insecure, like in middle school, about actually expressing myself. It's like a very, very fucked up mechanism.
For me it
Go to
was
sleep.
for me it was once I started going live on Instagram. So I was like a little micro celebrity in the few communities that I had interacted with in my area. And every time I go live, I'd feel a gnat, kind of like a Beelzebub ass thought of like, oh my God, you're not who you say you are. You're not who you say you are, based
Mm,
on those old corpses that in the moment because I wanted to say, let me backtrack. Let me backtrack. I want to say you. It's not like you were looking for validation, but what you were looking for was sense in the mechanism that they were telling you didn't make sense out of, which was English and shit. So then now you're trying
Yeah,
to put it into perfect English, but the way the English is set up is you're not gonna hear it, bro. English is like English. I don't know how to articulate this perfectly using it, but English is like the disembodied mind that is beating people up. Like that's what we use it for per se, to like replace
you're the
our
made up
Saturn.
god, so to speak.
Right, right, right. And so when you start speaking towards people with that, and you try to like use it as pretty as you can to position yourself in certain spaces, it you're more efficient in just doing the ritual or showing the ritual, which is where I lost faith in myself around that age because I thought I had to get real good with this, get real good with this.
That shit is like kind of scary if you think about it. Like when you were saying what English really is, because this whole concept of lingo is the highest witchcraft I've ever seen in my life. That shit is
Right,
borderline scary. And I speak like three languages. And the Latin languages, which are like German, French, English, Italian, are like actually scary. I know I kind of sound like schizophrenic to the average human being right now, but these lingos, if you truly speak them, if you truly make sense out of your gold, you automatically become very chopped up and automatically like kind of sold up without being
right.
too spooky. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And all of a sudden you got Amazon packages of, well, this thing only matters to this audience, this thing only matters to this audience. And it really just be like the lens of who's speaking today. But that's where like that's why natives prefer to do oral tradition rather than writing shit down, is because the vibration carried, like the presence and the energy carried, you know
Like
what I
even from
mean?
my own culture, there is no such thing as a scripture. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm even coming from an oral tradition background. So by default, just seeing something being written down, it's like some Minecraft enchantment table type shit. You know what I'm saying? It
Real
is like
shit.
some it is like
Real
some
shit.
borderline stupid shit. It is witchcraft just to go to school. Like
It's
going to
puppy guarding. It's like literally puppy guarding. you
yeah,
know?
because like going to school, I like going to school, but not going to school based off just learning the curriculum. What I liked about school is just being in the community, because
Right.
naturally, as when you are an expressive individual, you like to share. It is like you're overfilling with like joy. You know what
Yo,
I'm saying? Without being too happy based on individuals, but you
yo,
just like to be a very charitable individual. So when I
that's
was like
for
going to school and actually learning these rigid calculations, which I'm ironically very good at, I saw how depleting that shit really was for like true character development. Because insecurities are only insecurities because we all went to school, as stupid as it sounds. Because in this made up, man made society, which is built of signs and symbols, logic, goddamn gang signs, you name it, you start to lose yourself in because these gang signs, these magic squares, these letters are spiritual spells which point you in a direction which is not profitable, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's funny you say that because like, you know, I really think all my insecurities really came from school. Like me
Yeah,
thinking I'm
same. This is
dumb,
what I'm saying. This.
me thinking I'm dumb and shit. Whereas like I look at it as like, damn, who cares about an IQ test? Like, why does an IQ test or a test matter if somebody is back here rich in the motherfucker, waving money in everybody's face and they're retarded? They're doing
School is
stupid.
an extraction process, bro. Unless like you really are synced up with the the voyeurship that type of concept comes behind. Because think about it, that these are adults who clearly either should or do understand how their bodies work, and they have kids coming in here, right? But they're gonna say to themselves that it makes sense to not care about these kids' problems, but I want y'all to think about when you were watching one of your first spiritual teachers videos or first dolo videos or whoever the fuck was really striking a chord. Eventually the words would no longer resonate as words. You would just go to new thoughts and new experiences that you've already had within those same spaces. And so in that in true moments of motivation, true courage, right? The vibration is what matters. However, you don't get graded on vibration and behavior in school. Maybe when you were younger, you got like incentives for good behavior and whatnot, but as you get older, man, fuck the vibe, fuck the AKA. Sometimes if you're willing to sit out because you know it's not your day to participate, you're not gonna get rewarded in their system for that, bitch. You better show up. Fuck you mean that you're not, you know what I mean, ready to show up
That's
on
what I'm
time.
saying.
And that's where the manipulation comes in. Is they'll make a kid. they'll plant a seed in the kid's mind to think that they're stupid when really the mathematical equation that's being discussed is representative. It's symbolic representation of the emotional
Yeah.
mathematics that their family infrastructure lacks. So that kid's going off into some whole trauma story right now in their own memory, and they don't understand why, because that's what English is supposed to do the dance of.
True.
And so they're just not believing they're stupid, and they're getting packaged at a very premature base, and the whole time we're just stuck looking at, oh, 3.5, oh, 2.0,
Yeah.
oh, you
And
know.
I really like how you were saying that school is an extraction process because school, as far as I'm looking at it,
It's
it
a
is building
test.
you to be part of this Masonic world. It is like the first kind of conditioning to see who is messing with the system and who is not messing with the system. Because the people who like excel in school, straight A's, straight good GPA scores, are the same people who are like the most likely to jump into Masonic companies to just uphold the system. Because even on a very, very big scale in university, like I go to university and I see like certain professors are straight up Masons. So they're like characters in the faith. It's
Bro,
like
I
the
bet they
Squid
fat
Game type shit.
involved.
That's why.
When like the whole
Bro, I just met a Mason the other day. I swear to God, that's why you have to learn how to just meet people at sunset. Meaning, don't meet me when you ain't done your big dance type of shit. I don't want to be a part of your big dance. Go do that for yourself. Take care of that for yourself. Meet me at sunset, and then as you walk through the hall of the dead, while you're doing your big thing, don't touch other people's gold. Don't, otherwise you're gonna make that your fucking marketplace. You're gonna make
and
that your
somebody
value.
who's Masonic is not somebody who's spooky or like some high and mighty being. It is just somebody who is a certain way. You automatically see, okay, this person knows where this curriculum is like coming from. This person has information which is
Accountability,
like the starting point of this very mathematical curriculum. You know what I'm saying? It is very
right?
easy to see.
I bet your professor losing his hairline as we speak. Fat
Bro, he
and
looks like
bald.
John Wick with like 10,000 XYZ shots. You know what I'm saying? With 10,000 C19 shots. You know what I'm saying?
I bet
He
I
is
bet
like,
he I bet he
don't even
like
get started, bro.
I bet he freaking bending over every time he walk.
Bro, this person is the type of person who gets straight up mad when somebody leaves the lecture hall. And this is when I was like kind of peeping some certain sites. Like that person really, really got pissed off if somebody was leaving the lecture hall because of the sense of investment, the sense of passion and like care this person has towards this made up curriculum is not something a normal person does. And this is what even like Vision was saying, like school is an extraction process. School is automatically the first sign to see who is into this world and who is not into this world.
So
And people
basically,
who
you
have straight A's, people who perform, these are the first people who are like diving into corporate systems and become the CEO. You know what I'm saying?
so like they become the first people in suits, become fat and bald and getting paid real good. Okay, yeah.
Type
Like
shit.
right now, I hold a position to help people make educated decisions with their finance, with their currency, and that's exactly what I'm articulating. I was bad at, so that's why that's a role that I can play in the corporation, because that's the dead part. Like, that's, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I get
I
what you're
get you.
saying.
Like
It's
I was gaslit because I didn't know how to spend my energy. I had the goal and I had my own value and I didn't trust in it. And so now when I get into the Masonic world of thinking or the corporation world of thinking, my traits build a sense of comfort amongst people inside of like their own internal alarm system when I'm helping them in that realm, because they can feel my sincerity, they can feel my residue in that space. And that's what, like, there's positives and negatives to it all. The real issue really do just be the cognitive dissonance that comes from who we allow to be in our realm of rulership. Because the reason that they can't articulate that school is an extraction process is because then you'd be like, well, who's extracting? And it's gonna be some motherfuckers that have flunked out history. The same way that I be sharing like my trauma baggage on my channel, there is gonna be individuals like that, but they haven't accepted that about themselves enough to share it. They're still in delusional land, and that's why they think they're in a spot to tell you what to do with your moment, with your energy. And
This
that's
whole system is like a hidden process which is hidden right in front of your face. And
right.
it's like the secrets are no secrets. They're only secrets if you lack intelligence. Then it becomes
And,
very like hidden knowledge. But
and,
when you
and the
truly have wisdom, you see everything is right in front of your face, including your own flaws. Like this system is no secret shit. Like you can even find the whole history of this world on one Wikipedia article. And it's not something which is hidden in the Vatican, like locked up under 10,000 feet of like basement material. You know what I'm saying? Everything is right in front of your face. And those people who see, we get excluded for the lack of less spooky words. We are stuck on three views. But beyond online shit, we get like disowned by our own kind, by our own family, by our own associates because we don't abide by this world. Like the extraction is not happening by some good Masonic office somewhere sitting in the Vatican. The extraction and the like ghosting system is happening by your peers because
That's
we are the power. Oh, it sounds very like activist in
that,
type of
It's
way.
it's it's
But the
it's
first
happening
hint
by
of
people who
ghosting is
live.
coming from your own people.
It's happening by people who live in the lens of peers, PEER, versus peer, like just being in your own fucking environment and in your own fucking reality.
Exactly.
right,
And
right.
Because
the first forms of a shadow ban is not getting views online. It is your own environment not reciprocating truth for the lack
right,
of less omniscious words. The first form of shadow ban is you expressing yourself and your homie who you grew up with is saying, oh, that doesn't make any sense. The BBCS channel ain't not
because
saying
he's
that
still
shit.
you're right. Because he's still
You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
The
off of that, bro.
BBC,
I told all my homies that
the
shit.
BBC channel.
I told all my homies that shit because he's still getting pussy off of that energy that y'all both wore as Boy
Oh my
Scout time.
fucking
Now
god.
you taking off the sash. Now you taking all the off the sash because you want to see a grown woman, and he's still looking at all the girls and Girl Scouts like, man, you're fucking up, man, you're fucking up, and now he about to go to war with you about some fucking Thin Mints.
Type shit, man. And the crazy thing is, people don't truly stand for the world's teaching. They only use it because it's able to gain them certain tractions. Like nobody sincerely believes what they've been kicking. They just like the fruits of
That's
that
why
whole
they need
curriculum.
validation. Is because
Bro,
especially from a big homie, because what that translates to is, hey bro, you're taking the brunt of the ignorance for us being in this stupid ass square because I don't know no better as much as you know better. So come on, bro, keep showing up. Come on, bro, keep holding this weight. Keep letting me eat off of you, killing yourself a little bit more than I have to kill myself to participate in this. But
and
then
it
when you
goes
get
back
out
to
of
what I
there,
was saying yesterday in my live stream. Like when you are the walking image, when you are like the walking, living thing, you see the most realist results. You see how everything is working and nobody is going down that line of reasoning. Like actually walking the walk is like getting you disowned on some Aquarius type shit. And to even make it personal, like this was something I was like fearing. I knew what to do, but I wasn't doing it because I was automatically excluded based on validation. Like I knew how to walk, I knew what to say, I knew how to be. But if I was who I knew I was excluded from validation, from getting pussy sometimes, from gaining friends, you know what I'm saying? And this is like something everybody has to overcome. Like the fruits of this world are truly fruits which rot your teeth. It's like candy. It's not healthy. It just tastes good, but it's still not doing you anything good as far as like your actual spiritual health.
Right, right.
bars.
You're, yeah, bro. This funny. This whole conversation is funny because like my grandma, she got mad that she got mad at me because I I was like nonchalant and I didn't care about going to work, but I still went to work. She was getting mad at the fact that I was going to work and I didn't care about going to work. That's funny as shit.
This is
I about to
exactly
say
what's wrong with the world.
my takeaway in that whole space is, bro, if you kept calling the play and the team understand why you calling the play right now, and you kept passing the ball to one individual and they kept fucking up the play because they just had to get theirs, they just had to score, they just had to get the moment for them, you would stop passing the individual the ball. And so flipping that on his head for the faces that I see, not even the fucking people that embody these different faces, but just the faces that I see that ask me to hold that ball or to run a dummy play, I just stop responding to and stop showing up. And it sometimes it'll be cold, and I don't necessarily mean to sound cold and spiteful, but I mean that's just the end game of if you allow yourself to get wet off of their validations without knowing what the fuck you're building in
Yeah.
the process. Is eventually you got to let all that shit go because it's not
And
built
this
on a genuine
is
face. It's
like the
built on
indirect nature of humans. People expect you to make the moves without even, and the crazy thing is, people expect you to make the moves, but they don't even fuck with you like that in your environment. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you are the juice of that circle. Everybody knows it, but nobody likes to admit it
but they
because
mad that
everybody
yeah,
is
right,
of
right.
indirect expectation. You say
Right.
what?
I about saying so then you just get like little peppers of encouragement for you to go in a certain direction, and the whole time you're like the trampoline getting stretched. so that these fuckers can
But
jump on.
And this is what he was talking about in the very beginning. It all goes like kind of full circle. Everybody is a goddamn leech in this system. A whole big ass leech with a lack of individuality because people have been raised in suburban areas in which they've been sheltered in. When you are sheltered, lived, when you're living in a sheltered environment, people take care of you beyond mental needs, physical needs, mental needs. Everybody takes care of you. And when you live in an environment in which everybody takes care of you, you lack individuality. You do not build individuality. And now we have the world we're in. Everybody waiting on one Messiah. It is like a witchcraft. Like
Oh,
Esoteric.
that
That's
infamous Messiah is a human being. And everybody
esoteric
accepts
superload.
that human being as a Messiah because everybody has been trained to have their responsibilities dumped on somebody else.
right. I
Esoteric
was about to say, bro,
superhero.
that's what they're making. How Dolo talk about making you hate your own people. Anyone who is becoming, not anyone, but majority of the people that do become the celebrities, like those phase boys and whatnot, they can only talk for so long until they realize that they are who they talk about, because the actions and the rituals that they're taking to gain traction or gain security or gain power is like is the the minute actions of colonizing their own habits, colonizing their own traits. Just like Trey, you said about your brother, talking about he knows his success came from hating himself, copying someone else, hating his own idea, and choosing someone
Bruh,
else's
bruh,
Fuck
idea.
those things.
bruh, dead ass. He came to me and said, "Oh yeah, Trey. I sometimes be sounding like you a little bit, and my favorite streamer is Blackboy Max." I'm like, nigga, fuck Blackboy Max. All them niggas is weirdos. I ain't gonna cap. And my brother like associated with them. I'm like, these niggas some
Well,
weirdos. Like, bro,
yeah,
yo, bro.
they're creating Jesuses, bro. Because then that person thinks that they can just die on the cross and be valued just because of who they chose to love. But those people that they
Yeah,
chose to love turn their back on them in the moment, and that's,
right. They all
you know
trying
what I
to they
mean.
all trying to be they all trying to be esoteric superheroes, but really they like some esoteric. Oh, you gonna die on this cross and get
Shit,
exalted in some type
they're
of
lacking exoteric sturdiness for what their true SO is. Yeah, real shit. And so now they're
Real
gonna die
shit,
in
man.
that body that they don't really feel. They just attach to it.
right. And it's funny because like, you know, bro, you'll be surprised. Most of these streamers get lit off of other streamers. So all right, so we just about to copy other people, leech all over people, just get friends with them, and be like, okay, here's what we
Bro,
about to do.
bro,
What about
I walk in Vegas parties with people that are supposedly the voice of the city or yada yada yada, booked here, booked here. The minute I walk in there, all their eyes are focused on me, and they never even heard my shit. Like it literally just be a where does your eye contact go? Like where do you know what I mean? Like this should be minute rituals. It's just, do you know that you have your value enough to where you build the rooms? Because that's why a lot of these corpses still are moving. It's because we just don't value ourselves enough to create our own independent nation, our own
Yeah, man.
independent
It's like these
race.
systems are built of based on
the
of people.
system?
They don't have even character. All they're having is some sort of expectation and platform. And in
Right.
order to have a platform like a business, you don't take character. Like your own individual character is just based on somebody else's platform. And this is what's like respectable in this world. Oh, I'm the son of this. I'm the son of goddamn Donald Trump, and now everybody respects you type shit. Like without having a platform, these people are absolute nobodies.
And that's how they be feeling like they fixed the world. Is so they'll take the absolute loser from the community and they'll make him lit, and then they'll give them opportunities in front of the world to show this person making better decisions for themselves, or choosing to treat themselves like a boss now because they got the opportunity to, you know. And in their mind,
Yeah.
they're on their own little circles. Like, look, this is my make a wish.
Just zero
That's
substance, basically.
that's funny because
And
like I
it
have a
all be a
little
dis. It all be they be scared because some people are agents of death and they don't know how to accept that them expressing their uncomfortability is what makes shit go around. And so what they like whenever people start to talk about the white man or yada yada yada, a lot of those energies that we're talking about are just death energies, just Saturnian energies. But it's a person who doesn't accept that about themselves, so they don't have their own forgiveness. They either went too far or too extreme, so they lost their heart. They went cold in the heart space, and now it's like just trust issues.
that's
It
To
is
dope.
where
not
You did
even in this world
that.
that people lack character sometimes. Sometimes just straight up people are afraid to push out their character. Because some
hold up.
people straight up don't have a character like people on top of the world. But in some cases, people have a character, but they're just afraid to push
Yo, can y'all hear me? Oh,
Yeah, about to say your mic just got ripped.
oh,
But that's because
it got ripped.
as soon as some of these characters start getting expressed, the person's ears start working, and they just hear all their fuckery come out. Like, I mean, I laugh, but I've been in that hallway. That shit. feels like a lot of pressure because it's a lot of things that you've bottled up, trying to make other like trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, but you never you just like pushed yourself off the space. You know what I mean? To where your spirit now is asking for a crash out. It's asking to get smacked in the face. It's asking to get told it's stupid because it won't tell itself it's stupid. It won't smack itself in the face.
Right.
You
That's
ever
cool.
met a spirit like that, bro? I've been that type of spirit, looking
Oh,
for a
for
problem type of shit.
hella people.
Zuko on the top of the fucking mountain asking to get struck because that's what
Yeah.
I
they've
feel it, man.
reduced their
It's like
meaning
that shit
into.
is like a mechanism to test your own strength type shit. Because everybody in this world has absolutely nothing. Like people lack substance to the highest degree. And when you feel like a taste of your own power, for the lack of less smoky words, you feel like you're
Motherfuckers.
on top of a mountain. Hence, you go on top of a mountain and you seek problems. Because your spirit knows you can handle everything. Your spirit knows you can just take on everything.
I
Like
mean, think
even
about
people
it.
who hide behind faces, characters, titles, etc. You know when you meet somebody face to face, like you were saying, when the sun is setting, when their ego is setting, when you meet somebody face to face, you see all people are truly respecting is somebody who has an inflated sense of character, like a house built
Right,
out of stray things type shit. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Bro, that's funny. That's funny you say that because freaking all people's lives consider like consist of is going to work, Jesus Christ, coming to work, and look and scroll on their phones and shit. So they character drains.
Like Jesus is another coping mechanism for the sake of not having responsibility, spiritually
right.
speaking. Like people in religion, like in Jesus Christianism, in the Lord of Confusion, aka Yahweh, are just people who don't have responsibility over their own life. And when you don't have the tenacity and the character to seek your own solutions, you seek to somebody else's book, which is just another man. And I feel like every spirit deep down knows shit is written by another man. They just don't like to admit it because this world is based off illusions. Illusions give people very much comfort.
That's funny. That's funny you say that, and it's funny because like today, I know this is like a little personal story, bro. I got released from my job, and like only worked for 4 days.
You say what?
So
Yeah, pick that one up for me, boss.
I said I got released from my job. I only worked for 4 days.
Bro, you like I don't know an Olympic gold medalist when it comes to getting fired, man. I
I
don't know
don't,
what it is you're doing, but you just keep on getting fired, man. Every time I hear stories.
bro. It's like yeah. I know this topic is like a little off topic, but bro, I
There
can't
we
even
go.
cap like I don't even know what I did on this specific job. Like, I was just working. I showed up, and I don't know. The manager
Bro,
told me, "Hey,
sometimes you don't have to do shit. Sometimes it's just who you are. Who you are speaks beyond words, as I'm always saying. When you just are a certain way, people automatically paint the picture. Sometimes you just don't have to say shit. You just don't automatically fit into a system. And people can sense that, you know what I'm saying? It's not even about saying something, it's about being a certain way. But anyways,
being
guys, I
yourself."
have to go like in 2 more minutes, so if y'all have anything to say, just kick it out before I leave.
Oh
Nah,
yeah,
I'm all go good chop up.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir, yes, sir.
All I gotta say is, you know what, Because sometimes I ain't gonna lie, people do look at me and it was like, man, bro? Look at this dude, like, is this? But yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I was
I'll
about to
tell you.
say, bro. I think if you do what you're supposed to do in those type of spaces, you'll know why they let you go. So if I were you, the next job you get, just really make sure you know what you're getting involved in and why you're getting involved in it. And if they let you go, bro, it's not even a big deal. Like some of these places be letting
Oh
you go,
shit.
just some of these places let you go just simply because they know that you want more, so you wouldn't be a fit. And so yeah, that's why in my videos I recommend if you're gonna get into the fucking Masonic world, you need to read that whole damn contract. Read the worker manual. Like I'm not just saying words to sound pretty right now. I mean like the actual worker's manual, because you're telling your spirit that you're about to fulfill a role, and there's a reason behind that. And so the
The
more that you absorb the
spiritual terms
information
of
of that, yeah,
conditions, you know what I'm saying?
the
Right,
more
right.
that you absorb that, say you read through the whole thing, you're like, man, I'm above this. At least you understand the context now that you are above, and so you see like a new lens of what not to participate in and what to participate in. If you're just doing it for a buck or for a dollar, then who give a fuck? You just go get a new job at that point.
No, I was just saying that because it was funny because like damn, like all these motherfuckers they see me, it's like Yeah, we gonna have to let this dude go for some odd reason. The way he carried himself, it's like he like fuck this. But yeah,
You know, some names and some programs are programmed for death. Sometimes when you come in with good intentions, it don't matter what role you take on. It'll be like the moment that you took on this role, now it's the wrong moment to be that role. So I don't even look too deep in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even look too deep in rejections. I just look at, man, is my alarm? Am I listening to my internal alarm clock? Am I doing am I responding to my own like sponsors, my own spawns? Am I you know what I mean? Like, am I doing
It's
my
like
shit?
rejections don't even exist. Like, what the fuck
Right,
is a rejection? I
right.
don't
It's
even
just a
get the whole
miscommunication.
context of a rejection.
Yeah.
Rejected from what? Who on earth are you? You just work at Walmart type shit. You just work at, I don't know, Wendy's type shit. Beyond
Even if
working a
it's
job, it's a spiritual thing.
even if it's a lover, it's a matter of miscommunication. Because what this person is saying is that I identify my internal values as these needs and perceive like expectations. I don't think that your habits and your current presences, where you say present to, I don't think your curriculum has enough for what the fuck I'm working over here. So that's not even a
But people
rejection. That's
label
just
rejections as something personal type shit. They
real
think, oh,
shit.
something must be wrong with me,
But
which is
those are
egotism in and of itself.
that's because something is wrong with them. Sometimes it just be the matter of they are looking for something to be wrong with them because it's easier than accepting what they felt was previously wrong with them.
Pretty
So they just
much,
keep the
they just like to be relatable by anybody. They like to be felt by anybody.
right, bro. That's the fetishization of rape culture. Like I'm not trying to victim shame or nothing, but that's why like that's such a weird topic is because a lot of people be acting in ways to enable uh, predators to act on them just so they can be like, oh, you were the predator. Oh, you're taking advantage of me. But they never even stood up in the first place. They just like walked into the part of the program that acts that way. It behaves that way.
Yeah. A lack of accountability. And I think this
Right.
is like a good point to end the type shit. Because I really have to go and I have to be somewhere in 2 minutes, yeah. So I appreciate you guys for really coming and shout out to Z, shout out to fucking Xavier and to fucking Trey, man. I appreciate y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all for coming. I said I appreciate y'all for having me, man. I'm fucking retarded, but this is my platform. But I shout y'all out,
You
man. Thank you for
appreciated it.
coming in, man. Thank you for
Nah,
coming in,
I
man.
bet you on some real English you said it right the first time. On some real English shit.
My spirit knew. My spirit knew. My fucking
Real shit.
spirit knew it. I appreciate y'all for having me, man. This is our platform right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. That's why you got the platform. Real shit. We all have a mellow somewhere. Real shit.
We're all one on some hippy dippy type shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
hell
y'all,
yeah.
it's been a great live stream, and I will have more open panels soon because these are fun as hell. It was good chopping it up with y'all, and y'all take good care of yourselves, man. Peace out. Do your thing, man.
Likewise.
Do your
Peace.
motherfucking thing. Shout y'all out, man. Peace, peace.